Welcome in, welcome in, welcome once again to the newest edition of 3 In, 3 Out, the most unique Seahawks recap and film show in the multiverse. I'm your host, Clinton Bonner. I am joined by the one, the only, the great Brandon Schultz. Brandon, I would feel like we just talked about a huge 44-22 victory, I don't know, maybe like 10 hours ago?
We did, but you know what we didn't do when we had that discussion?
What?
We didn't get into the nooks and the crannies.
We gotta get into the nooks and crannies. So if you're not familiar yet with 3 In, 3 Out, it is we're gonna look at some film. We're gonna look at some ins, some outs, but not the mega moments of the game that everybody's already talking about, but more the micro moments, maybe some mega moments too, but a lot of micro moments that you might have missed because it was a lot of fun. So are you ready just to hop right in? Because we got a lot of content to churn through. You ready to rock and roll?
I think we should dig right into it. I think we should also address the weirdness going out on YouTube, because I think YouTube released some new feature where they're doing vertical and horizontal streams. And so a lot of people seeing dual streams out there. Even our production studio is set up for dual streams. And so, you know, if you're experiencing any weirdness out on YouTube, it could just be the start of a technical revolution for vertical and horizontal streams for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's a StreamYard innovation, if you will. So,
I don't know if it's StreamYard, though. I think it might be a YouTube thing that they're trying to push places like StreamYard toward.
Oh, okay. Possibly. I got the notification inside StreamYard. It was like, hey, you're going to now be seen in mobile, vertical and horizontal. And then it put out 2 streams in YouTube. So bear with us. We are, we're learning as we go here along with the new technology. Hopefully it just looks okay. Are we getting feedback that it looks odd to people?
No, I think people are just seeing multiple streams out there and available.
Gotcha.
So I just wanted to let people know it could be a new feature. It could be us. It could be YouTube. Who knows?
Okay,
we're just
cool.
on this wacky ride all together.
If you're in our Discord, which you should be, I put the horizontal stream in Discord because I could tell which one was which when I went and looked at some of the metadata, because that's how I roll. All right, Brandon. So we are going to be diving in. Let's go. So you're going to like the name of this episode. We're calling this one Soul Takers because man, oh man, did our Seahawks bring our hats the entire game. Really beautiful defensive performance and whatever the lulls and the turnovers. And I just don't care. You're up 31 points. I don't care if you have a turnover or 2. I really don't. But there was a lot of beautiful stuff to look at. Quick reminder out there, if you are watching youtube.com/Seahawkers podcast, please like, subscribe, and y'all have been doing a lot of work on the hypes for hyping the videos, and it really helps, let's say, like mid-size programs like ours get more eyes. So thank you so much for that. Please keep that rocking. That certainly helps a ton. And one of the benefits, if you're out there on YouTube, we put out lots of polls. One of the polls we put out last night, which I thought was kind of fun, actually this one was the one I put out this morning, was Seahawks man of the match versus the Cardinals. And, I figured D-Law and Tyrese would kind of split the difference. I will say, kind of nicely surprised to the upside here, Brandon, that 62% of the flockers out there say Tyrese Knight was man of the match and 31% to D-Law. What do you think?
I think that they got it right because, hey, D-Law doesn't have those touchdowns if Tyrese Knight isn't there getting in the quarterback's face, knocking that ball loose. But it is nice to see a defender who can scoop and then run with the football afterward and not have it punched out, not just fumble it.
There you go.
Very, very nice by
Yes,
DeMarcus Lawrence.
Score the touchdowns, right? We like that part for sure. Last night or yesterday, put this one out saying, hey, Pritchette's a statue. How many sacks can we expect? Most of you, 62%. Ding, 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 ding. Nailed it. We had 5 sacks in the day, but I bring this up to showcase a member of our flock named Chosen. Chosen, in this comment thread, he said 4 to 5 maybe, and 2 strip sacks. Go Hawks. We got the receipts right there. So to Chosen in our Discord, man. Brandon, that's one heck of a call, dude.
We do need to get more futures
yes.
If Chosen is Nostradamus, then and if I could learn to say Nostradamus again, that would be great too. But if Chosen is him, then we need to find a way to capitalize off this.
Yes, I agree. So good job. Great call out there. And we love folks, voting and doing all that stuff. We try to put out a poll, 4 or 5 times a week. So again, one more reason to subscribe on YouTube, because then you can see the polls and they're a lot of fun. All right, Brandon, I was very busy today. I got to travel to Grand Rapids, Michigan tomorrow for work. So I had the sticky note. I lost the sticky note. I know there's a rule on 3 and 3 out, but I forget the rule, but I need your help.
Oh, Clinton, you would think that after I take a week off, you don't have the whammy. You would remember things like this. When we win, it's up on the screen. When we win it, we start with an N.
We start with an N. Let's hit that whammy. Let's get to it. All right, we're going to bounce around the room today because there's a lot to cover. Oops, crunch berries. We're doing lots of ins. What can I tell you? In games like this, I'm not going to worry about a missed block. I'm not going to do it. There's way too much good to look at, but we will be quick with this because we have a lot to cover. Stick around to the end because we have From the Flock. And of course, we're going to be unveiling the MVC, the most valuable cranny, because winners get sprinkles. And we do the MVC, the 7th of the year for our 7th victory. In number 1, we're calling Soul to Squeeze. We called the episode Soul Takers, right? So Q3, 1307. It's a 3rd and 6. Arizona's on our 45, and we're blowing them out by a lot. If I'm saying Soul to Squeeze and it's a Soul Taker, what do you think we're about to watch?
Ooh, I think we had a couple soul-taking plays in this game. Drake Thomas is one that comes to mind, and Ty Okada is another. So if I have to take a 50-50 shot, make me, but those are my 2 picks.
Okay, fine. I won't make you. Ty Okada is what we're going to be looking at here. So just pausing it real quick. We got 2 safeties deep. This is the play where their backup tight end, number 87, this reminded me so much of Earl Thomas hitting Gronk over the middle. And it's violent, it's on time, it's well done, and it's tone setting. So let's just enjoy this as we watch Okada break. Boom. And we get a couple of other views of this as well. I loved Okada's kind of mini celebration where he walks off into the sunset while the other dudes on the team celebrate together. Look at this. I mean, that is just some lovely contact, man.
Very nice.
This is the type of team that we're putting out there. It's scrappy, happy hero pups with some role players like Okada who are getting their time, but they're making the most of the time, Brandon. And I wanted to put that first and foremost as we watch in super slow motion, a soul being taken. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. A soul being taken in slow motion. What do you think?
You've got Okada, you've got Kobe Bryant back there, just the 2 deep safeties. And yeah, you can see that they are watching the quarterback. And when you're up 38-7 as a defense, when you play the position of safety, that's what you do. So they just drop back. They watch the quarterback's eyes to see where they're going with the football. And Okada can see that it's coming right over the middle to number 84. And one of the things that we heard from head coach Mike McDonald in his coaches show in Seattle today is the way that they teach how to tackle as a defender. And one of the things I thought that was interesting is that he says they want to saw people in half.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
and it kind of makes sense though, right? Because as a defender, you don't want to go too high because then you get helmet to helmet. You don't want to go too low because then you're taking out a dude's knees. You go right for the middle, and that's what Okada does. He gets him right in the middle, so no helmet to helmet, no defenseless receiver type penalty here. He hits him squarely in the middle, knocks the ball away, and he has a soul to take as a part of it.
Yeah, we like this a ton. I was so happy to see them not throw the flag on this because I was waiting. I was like, oh, well, there was very hard contact in the NFL in 2025. They might throw the flag. They did not. It's a tone setter. Yes, this already happened when the game was 38-7. But again, we had a lot of these, and we're going to see some more as we get on. So, all right, let's do the whammy. And oops, it's crunch berries, all crunch berries. What can I tell you?
Okay. Oh, people are going to be so disappointed.
I know.
But like you said, what are we supposed to do? On a game like this where it was up so early, okay, yeah, there were some turnovers. You could probably put the 3 turnovers in each of the outs, like if you really had to stretch it, or some missed blocks here and there.
Every now and again, but we know about the turnovers already. Like, again, the whole point of 3 and 3 out is like the nooks and crannies. So it's like, oh, he threw the ball off Barner's helmet. We know that already, right? It's like, oh, there was an Olu exchange. I saw people yelling at Olu, like, you have one job. It's like, dude, he snapped the ball. It's just rust. It's him and Sam not doing that a lot together with live snaps this year so far. That's all it is. You know, be like, oh, you got one job, dude. He snapped it. You know, so no, I'm not going to be like yelling at Olu for something like that. I'd rather spend some time on things like this, which probably wouldn't have made the cut, perhaps, if we weren't doing a lot of ins. So in number 2, calling it honest, it's Abe. So there's a lot of breadcrumbs there, Brandon. Q1, 128 to go, 20-0 at this point, and it's Seattle on Arizona's 9-yard line. It's basically about to be 20-0, 2nd and 9. You probably know where we're going.
This feels like an Abe Lucas play.
It probably does, right? So we're going to be looking at, I'll pause it real quick here to set it up. But here we go. So we're circling on screen, as you can see. You got the defensive end way out wide, whether that's like a 7 or a 9 technique, like way outside out there, right? So Lucas has got a pretty big job to do. He's got to seal that guy, but that guy is a country mile away from him. So it's just a really nice seal job. This happens to be the Helani touchdown. Now, this is the play that Bradford's getting yelled at on social media again because Bradford absolutely whiffs. And that's fine. He whiffed. By the way, Bradford played a pretty good football game. So just, again, stuff can be two things.
Yeah.
He whiffs on this play and he played a pretty darn good football game. So two things can be true. Abe saves the day here because when Bradford does whiff, his guy is cracking through, and the seal that Abe puts on here actually seals off 2 dudes at once. So if I got to be honest, it's Abe. So here we go. Abe turning him, and Helani does a nice job here as well. But we're going to focus on Abe. We love Helani. That's a good job by him. But we're going to get a little closer so you can see it here again. Really got to get out wide there and just turns him inside, Brandon.
Yeah, he really gets out wide, but I think he's also helped too by the defender jumping to the inside because I think that Sweat knows that it's going to be tough for Abe to get out to that spot. So I think he tries to cut it up the middle to maybe try and get into the backfield a little bit early. And yeah, Bradford going down, it helps. I think that's Nolan that jumps into the backfield too.
Yep.
I felt like you did a close-up on Bradford for that one, but there is another angle too where Bradford, like, he doesn't actually give up once he finds himself face down on the ground. He actually, toward the end, he reaches up and he starts helping out. I think it's Zable who's blocking Calais Campbell, and so he actually does help out a little bit with Calais, trying to block him a little bit as he takes a knee to get up from that, but. Yeah, you say that Abe blocks 2 dudes here. Toward the end of this play, it feels like there's 4 Cardinals in his general area, and
right
it's just him, like with a wall of 2 that's holding the rest of them off.
And this is why he gets the in. This is why you're here to extract the goodness of the cranny, right? So it's a nice job. Like, you're correct, the defender does jump inside, so it makes it a little bit easier on Abe, but he still had to execute, and he really does seal this off quite nicely. And hey, heck, nice job by Helani to recognize it, bounce it out wide, and then make a move on a DB for the touchdown. It was all good. I do wish K9 would get some of these touches because I think K9 could do similar things. But with Charbonnet scoring and with Helani scoring and us running the ball for basically 200 yards, I'm a happy camper. What can I say?
Yeah, we do seem averse to having K9 run inside the 20, but, if Helani can do this, I don't care who's getting the touchdown.
Yeah, these are nice to have. All right, so that is in number 2. Take us away, whammy, to in number 3. Okay. This one's got a big breadcrumb also. Z is for get the F out of here. So it's Q3. It's very subtle. Q3, 4:32 to go. We are on our own 8-yard line, and this is the part of the game where the Cardinals were never climbing back into this, but we had to make some plays, so we made sure they did not climb back into it. We had to start running the ball with effectiveness so that we could put it on film and just start to get better as a run team. So 1st and 10 from our own 8-yard line, we got the ball. If I'm saying Z is for that, who are we looking at, you think?
I would say Zuper Zup.
How'd you know?
Or maybe Gray Zable.
Maybe Gray Zable, maybe Zuper Zup. Yeah. So you were almost right. It is Gray Zable. So we're going to look at him here. This is some big boy stuff. He's going up against the nose tackle. One of the things we've talked about, since he was drafted is Athleticism is super high. Obviously, the pass pro has been great. Can we see improvement in the run game? Can we see things that are pure strength plays where he is just, out muscling what is maybe a bigger dude? So here he is taking on the nose tackle, and just watch the wash job he does here. And he doesn't stop. That's the other part too. This is probably 10 or 12 yards sideways that he's moving another human being who wants to go against him, who's probably a 330 pounder. This is some real nice blocking, and he needed every ounce of this to really spring sharpens in this play there, Brandon.
Yeah, he just keeps on moving. PJ Mustapher is his name, and I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Can I call it Mustafar? Can I say that?
It may not matter. You can call him whatever you want, because I didn't even know that he played for the Arizona Cardinals until this game. So, but it is nice to see him completely wash out the big man. He keeps on walking him outside of the numbers, and you see the result here. You see Zach Charbonnet going for 30 yards on this, and yeah, there are a couple different guys who show out well on this one.
Yes.
You see Olu get into the second level quickly, then he knocks the linebacker back toward the goal line. You see Oots out there on the edge and blocking dudes. A lot of blocks that ended up not mattering because Charbonnet is able to cut it back and had plenty of space to run to. But yeah, you see a lot of good blocks. Except for Cross, coincidentally. But again, it didn't matter. He moved his guy upfield, and then it was off to the races for sure.
Yeah, and Cross is so out of the play that it's okay that his guy got around him. And Bradford's doing a nice job here as well. And you pointed out Oluwatimi. Just want to get your quick pulse check on. We heard from Coach Mack now that Sundell very likely out multiple weeks, but maybe IR, but not season ending. So you start to think 3-4 weeks. I thought Oluwatimi looked pretty darn good. Maybe certainly a different style. What are you thinking as he steps in, especially against a Rams team where it sure would be nice to not be one-dimensional versus the Rams?
Yeah, well, we didn't get to see him a whole lot in the pass game, and
True.
so it was primarily run blocking snaps. And I didn't notice any difference, honestly, when we went back and watched some of the Olu run blocking snaps. I think I saw, out of his plays, I think I saw maybe one, apart from the negative play of the fumbled snap.
Yep.
I think he had one play where he just got blown off the ball by Calais Campbell, which, I mean, pick a guy on the offensive line who didn't get blown off the ball by Calais Campbell in this game at least once.
Yeah, he's been doing it for 84 years. He's good at football. He'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer, or at least a second ballot Hall of Famer. That dude's going to the Hall of Fame. He's very, very good. And he's still gigantic and still really strong. But really nice showing from our boys here. Hey, again, we had almost 200 yards on the ground. We really did have 200 yards because we lost a couple on some kneel downs by the hose. That's the way the stupid rules go. But nice job. So Gray Zable's getting a well-deserved in. You pointed out greatly that there was a large contribution across the board. It makes me happy. We got more ins to get to. Why don't we do the thing?
You call them stupid rules. Some of us call it math. It's just when...
Yeah, math can be stupid too. It can be done, right? So it's, again, things can be two things. Math can be stupid. All right, so we're going to call this one, this is not stupid. This is just in number 4, calling this big boy battle. Little alliteration there. So Q2, 109. It's so funny, there's 109 to go in the half, and we're up 38-7. This is just what is happening. 1st and 10, Arizona's on, Seattle's 30. What I liked about the end of our half was we knew. Well, the Cardinals kicked off to us, right, to start the game. So they were going to get the ball. Yep. If there was any opportunity for the Cardinals to really climb back in, it would have been to double dip, to score, get the ball, and try to score again and get something going in the second half. Our boys were having none of that. And this is a player that just continues every single week to show me how wrong I was. And I'm so happy to be wrong about this guy. And every week I'm like, I need to show multiple plays of his because he's just that good. You probably know who I'm talking about at this point.
Oh, but well, with those clues, it would either be Nick Imani Wari or it would be Elijah Arroyo. And I think that based on what I saw from Arroyo in this game, my default goes to Imani Wari.
It is, yeah. So there we go. So we're going to be looking at Imani Wari. We'll set it up here. One of the better battles, by the way, the two dudes highlighted, obviously it's Imani Wari, on man coverage on Trey McBride. Now, Trey McBride had 9 receptions or 127 yards and a touchdown where he flexes after, even they're down 30 points. Okay. With all that, I thought when Imani Wari was squared up on Trey McBride, he did one heck of a job. Imani Wari, I believe, had 4 PBUs on the game. I know it was like 9 tackles, half a sack. I think it was 4 PBUs. I don't think this goes down as a PBU. In fact, maybe somebody could tell me if this does. But I just love the stickiness, the understanding of where the boundary is, and then the pure strength he distributes or showcases to get McBride out of bounds and not allow him to get that second foot down. We'll see a better angle in just a second. There was a lot we could have chosen from, but at the point in this game, and I got one more angle that I took from the different footage because it just really shows it a lot better than the all 22 could. But right here, like the understanding of exactly what to do and how just get him out of bounds. And McBride is, he's the best receiver by a long shot. And Imani Wari is in such good position over and over and over again that even when it's a perfect route and it's perfectly thrown with plenty of room on the sidelines, he's still able to make a play like this and be like, nope, that's not going to count. He's out of bounds, of course, and now it's whatever, they're into 2nd and 10. They do not score on this drive is the main point. So even Wari just every week making plays that, man, they impress me, Brandon.
You keep calling him Trey McBride. I go by his full government name is the Arizona Cardinals offense. So that's what we saw from Trey McBride this week. And yeah, this play is the one along the sideline where Nick Imani, he speeds over. And I love it when defenders do this and use the sideline to their advantage and push a guy to make sure that he's not able to get both feet down. And it's a really cool view there. The angle of that you saw on the broadcast is his heel just skids across the white line, so you know that he was nowhere near being getting both those feet in with the help of Imani Wari getting him out of bounds. So, yeah, McBride tore it up, but not on this play. They would have been able to get a little bit closer, and I still don't think, had they doubled it up, I don't think that they were catching up.
Oh, most likely not, but still a lovely play. Now for me, we've seen Imani Wari play down as a box safety really, really well. These last couple of games, we're seeing him out in coverage, playing exceptional football in coverage as well, just as kind of like a nickel slot or just a boundary corner at times. And the only thing that I'm still like, I don't know, is the deep safety stuff. And I know they're starting to give him more snaps there too. So just keep proving me wrong, because you have since the day you've been drafted. He's been awesome. My one thing was like, I don't know how he'll play in deep safety. We barely really played him as a deep safety. He's played in like all these other positions. He's played them extremely well. One last thing I'll say too, because we're not going to review it, is on the, I want to say it's the first, which is fun to say, the first DeMarcus Lawrence touchdown. It's Imani Wari is walking the Cardinals running back. He's blasting him 5 yards back, and it gives a path for Tyrese Knight to come through free. He's just part of the equation. It gets lost in the sauce because yes, it's Tyrese Knight that gets the strip sack, and yes, it's Lawrence that scoops up and scores, but it's Imani Wari who is like clearing a path with the running back trying to fill that hole, and he has none of it. So he really showed up there too, Brandon.
Someone else showing up is Michael Knight, in with a $5 super chat and with the nickname Nick in the Box.
Nice. Thank you, Michael. I know you're a big Drake Thomas fan, obviously posting that all the time in the Discord, and an NC State fan. So Drake continues to show out as well. He's been an absolute revelation. Such a fun player. All right, we got more, so let's keep on rocking. What do you say? And I saw the request for the acapella whammy. It's in the asset folder if you want it there, Brandon. All right, so
I think I do have it here. Maybe we'll close with that next time. Maybe.
Okay, cool. All right, in 5, so if you sing this, hum a few bars, maybe I'll catch it. But if you sing this in the what do you want to call it? The verses of Pretty Woman, and you get Sticky Woolen, Won't You Pardon Me. This is what we're going to be looking at. So,
not all of these are musically themed. I know the first one was the soul one was one of my favorite Chili Pepper songs.
Yeah, there you go.
This one I would not have pulled.
Well, I didn't expect you to pull it without that, me walking people through it there. But yeah, Sticky Woolen, Won't You Pardon Me. It's Q2, 126 to go. Cardinals got the ball, 1st and 10. It's actually a play or two just before the play we just watched. So in a series of excellence, it happens again. So obviously, I'd say who we're looking at. No problem, Amy. You're very welcome. It's a great song. Listen, we're gonna sing some Roy. Why not? Let's sing some Roy. All right. So what we're looking at here is, again, talking about manning up on dudes. So top of your screen, highlighted right there, we got Marvin Harrison Jr. and we got Tariq Woolen. This is a really good route. This is actually pretty good protection for Pritchette. The ball's out on time. It's a really good ball. And Brandon, this is Tariq Woolen being probably the best athlete on the field. It's just, and we'll look at it a couple times over, sticking with a guy like this in the open field with these kind of pivots and then the reacceleration back to the ball. Hold your horseshoes. We'll see a couple of closer angles. Not you, Brandon. I'm talking to the viewers out there. And we actually we'll see one more after this too that shows, I think, the best angle. But the pivot that he does, and then, like I said, the reacceleration right here, stop and then go and then get back upfield to make that play with the arm extended, high level man coverage. This is Tariq Woolen at his absolute best. Put him in man and let him go do his thing. And he's just really good at this, Brandon.
Yeah, not a lot of corners are going to be able to run down because as Harrison, he releases to the inside. And so you don't really expect him to pivot out to go toward the sideline. And Woolen, as he makes that break, has that recovery and able to really stick to Harrison and get his hand on the football. It was a very athletic move and really nice to see him stick to it and get a pass breakup. We saw some of these plays, too, in the second half where it was Nehemiah Pritchette covering Harrison man-to-man, too, and doing a pretty darn good job. He had a nice pass breakup on the sideline. He had one in the end zone that also was really nice. And so, yeah, it was nice to see. Whenever they were man coverage on Harrison, I felt like the defense generally did a really good job.
Oh, I agree. What do you have? He had 3 catches, right? Plus the 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's basically shut out. The footwork right here in that zoom in shot, that's the money right there. That is just so good. There's athletes, and then there's these elite athletes that can do stuff like this and then get back up to a speed and level that's just insane. Within like a 3-yard window,
right,
he's back into, obviously not full sprint, but he's back into sprint mode. And it's just incredible athleticism. So, very, very often you see a guy make a break like that, and even Sauce Gardner,
they're alone on the sideline.
Yeah, but they're alone because the guy's washing 5 yards, but he can't turn that quickly. So just elite athleticism on display, man coverage. And this whole thing is just rolling into next week, right? You got Devontae Adams, who kind of pinched an oblique. We'll see what happens with him, but obviously an incredible route runner. You got Puka Nacua, an absolute stud, incredible route runner. So having Tariq on his A game and ready for some man coverage versus the Rams, that's also one of the reasons we're showcasing this, just to get us ready for the big game next week. All right, so let us go to our last regular in, and then we'll keep on rocking.
All right, by request, Here we go.
That's the best. That's the best. It makes me laugh and have fun all at the same time. All right, In is In 6, and this is also a musical reference too. Maybe you know, maybe you don't, but it's Protect
Wu-Tang
Your Neck.
Clan. Of
There
course
you
I
go.
know.
There you go. Thank you, Wu-Tang Clan. Ain't nothing to you know what with. Q3, it's the last play of the third quarter. We got the ball, 1st and 10. We are on Arizona's 29-yard line, and this is K9. It's a regular old, just whatever kind of sweepy play to the left. That's fine. It goes for 4 yards, also fine. I need people to focus on what he does to rookie Walter Nolan at the end of this, because Walter Nolan does him dirty. And watch K9's response. We'll get a zoom in at the end here. I adored this because this is a dude I would not mess with. I'll tell you that much.
You wouldn't mess with K9, or you wouldn't mess with Nolan?
K9. No, I would not mess. I wouldn't mess with either of them, but I think K9 could do damage. So, and we get a slow mo.
Okay, I get the reference there at the end.
We get a slow motion here too. Look at this. He goes, no, man. Look at this. Look at that. He's telling the rookie, because first of all, what the rookie's doing is he's already out of bounds, right? He's out of bounds, or basically he's near out of bounds. He's doing this kind of alligator twist thing. It's not one of the drop.
This is
hits.
Close to a hip drop tackle.
It's close because if you catch the guy's ankles and knees, it's bad news bears. And they're out of bounds, and he's slamming them to the ground.
Yeah, and Nolan is a 320-pound man.
Correct. And it's football, and this happens, and they didn't call a flag, but I like that. This is what I like. You do this to me, I'm going to tell you, dude, no. And he's staring in the eyes being like, hey, you don't ever do that again to me. And there it is, right there.
Right there.
I love it so much. This, to me, is exactly how you treat a rookie who just did you a little dirty. And I don't know, K9's got that dog in him, no pun intended. And this is what I'm saying, man. I would not mess with K9. The dude, I think he'd choke you out if he had to.
Yeah, for this play, when I watched it initially, and I did watch the end of this because the way that K9 twists around, I was thinking, gosh, does he get face masked? Does he get
right?
But I think it is kind of that hip drop type motion that really whips him around. But yeah, his reaction and response at the end of that with the rookie is I'm very glad that you picked that up.
Yeah, I saw it live and I was like, but I had to go back and watch. I'm like, did I see what I think I saw? And I was very glad to understand that I saw exactly what I thought I saw.
And if you have an opportunity to get a Wu-Tang reference into the show, you have to take it.
That's exactly what you do. I love Ryan Bell saying, he's my favorite player. That's great. Nate Chute saying, plus the Cards aren't going anywhere. Injuring our guys when we're a Super Bowl contender is dirty. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a dirty play. And then a little bit later in the game, Walter Nolan looks like he hurt his hip. And I'm not saying instant karma. I don't wish the rookie any ill will. But he looks like he got injured later in the game and he was limping off pretty bad. So hope he heals up. But I also hope that he could watch this and somebody in the locker room could say, like, look, don't do that. You're literally out of bounds. And don't throw your 320-pound body around like that because it's just not cool. You're going to get somebody hurt.
Yeah. I agree.
All right. So let's take it now. I'd say, hey, man, if you want to hit that whammy, this is all you. I know we have one rule. We start with an in, but we also have the brand in. This is when you take it away. I shut the heck up a little bit, and we talk about a play you want to talk about. So, why don't you take it away, dude?
You're going to give me the opportunity to take a whammy. I am going to take it.
There you go. All right. So let us know what you saw and why you loved it.
All right. This goes to the play, and I saw someone in chat reference it a little bit back, and Nehemiah Pritchette in the end zone. This was on 4th down. This was against Marvin Harrison, and this was a touchdown denial that required just an incredible amount of concentration. You see them manned up on the outside, and one thing about this play, too, is that so many Arizona Cardinals actually ran this play well. And I think that if Brissett looks around and actually sees like anybody else, that it probably is a touchdown. And this should be a touchdown, too, because it's right into the hands of Marvin Harrison Jr. And just the concentration as Pritchett's going down, he's in his pocket the whole time, and he looks up, puts his hand on the football as Harrison's going to the ground, and he's able to knock that away, denying the touchdown. The Seahawks able to take back over after the failed 4th down. So, hey, if you're a corner, you're taking points off the board, I like to see it. It gets my brand in.
So when you're a little kid, right, I'm talking like maybe 5, 6, 7 years old, and you got like a Nerf football in your hands or something like that, right? A little stuffed football, and maybe you pile, maybe your mom and dad's bed, whatever it is, and you pile up a big thing of pillows, and you kind of just do the jump over thing, and you feel super athletic, and it's a lot of fun because you're bouncing off of a bouncy bed, and you just kind of messing around the house, and it's like the most you feel athletic because you're young and you're jumping around. And then you see this as, you know, a 20-something-year-old dude doing this against a large-bodied wide receiver in the NFL on fourth down, and he's going full Superman, and then realizing mid-air that he could kind of like turn and turn his body like a diver and still locate the ball and still punch it out. This is just, I can't, even as a child jumping on a bed, I couldn't fathom this play. It's just insane levels of athleticism, and I'm so glad you flagged it, dude.
Yeah, and Nehemiah Pritchette, second highest graded player on the Seahawks defense against the Arizona Cardinals, according to PFF. He really played Harrison well in this game. And so I really wanted to point that out, because here you have a fifth-round pick going up against a top 5 NFL draft pick and locking him down for most of the game. So he did have the one touchdown, yes, but that was a great throw.
Yes.
Great catch by Harrison, too. That's a play that's really tough to defend. This is also a very tough play to defend, and he still does it.
Yeah, and to the touchdown, like you said, it was well defended. It's sometimes you tip your cap and go, okay, you beat me, that's fine. But man, this is just way up there in terms of just defensive acumen. And Pritchett's had his struggles. You know, this has not been the cleanest year and a half as a rookie for him so far. So for him to go out there and really contribute and make some really just beautiful plays, good for him, good for us. Bad for the Cardinals. Who cares? Kick rocks, Cardinals. You could kick all the rocks. Great Brandon, though. That was
Nate Schutz saying, talk about competing to the very end. It does take you back to some of those other goal line type plays where, you know, Earl's chopping it out at the goal line, or Cam is punching it out of Megatron's hands through the back of the end zone. And those types of plays in the end zone, they really stick with you.
Yeah, that's a great extra call out, as we're starting to see these parallels to the 2012, 2013 teams. Things like that just become more and more prevalent. These little pockets of like, oh, it kind of reminds me of this. And it's real nice. So, all right, that is the Brandon. So that then takes us, of course, to the MVC, the valuable cranny. The 3D printer is fired up. I think there's no problems with the 3D printer. The only thing I'm still worried about, this is 4 in a row now. You still have plenty of supplies. Do we have to reorder? How are we looking?
Yeah, I've been performing the maintenance on the printer just so it doesn't break down from overuse at this point. And yeah, plenty of supplies, the engraver working overtime, and I'm sure they're going to be just fine with whatever engraving you come up with for this week's trophy.
Well, we'll see. All right, so the MVC for this week goes to... We're going Gray Zable for moving a biggin yards at a time, springing the longest Seahawks run of the day. We got the rookie Gray Zable on the memorial card here, the memoriam card, the trading card, and we'll be printing the very real 3D trophy, which you can see on screen there. That'll be printed and sent to the VMAC for young Gray Zable. How do you feel about the rookie? I think this is his first MVC, but how do you feel about the rookie getting the 7th MVC of the year to Gray Zable? How do you feel?
I'm pretty sure it's his first. I think I would have remembered seeing him before, and I do like the engraving. And in terms of his run blocking, it's probably the area where I've had the most concern with Zable. And so if he can build off of this, sometimes you give a trophy, you want to incentivize someone. You say, you know what, this is the type of play that we expect and we want to see. More plays like this, please.
More plays like this from a rookie. We are turning into a very, very fun. We are a fun team. We're fun.
He may have had a preseason MVC.
Maybe. He may have.
Yeah.
I feel like he did have one against maybe the Chiefs. I remember the Chiefs game. We ran all over them. We were really happy about like his combo blocks and stuff like that early, which was a good indicator because the dude can play some football. So congrats to Gray Zable. We will get that out to the VMAC, and I gotta figure that's gonna embiggen the noblest spirits as they gonna head down to LA. And maybe Gray could just take this momentum and with Olu by his side now, and just put together a beautiful, beautiful game versus these Rams coming up. So what do you think about that factor, about his Hawkra because of the MVC?
I think it will grow. I think that, there's probably going to be other people on the line who are going to say, I want one of those MVC trophies too. If the rookie's getting one in week 7, why doesn't Cross have one? Why doesn't Olu have one yet? And he hasn't been playing, but maybe even Bradford gets on board and says, you know what? I think it's time to turn this around. I need myself an MVC. Let's go get one.
Yeah, I want Lucas to be mad that he didn't get one, even though he was nominated, right? Because he was an in, and then yet the rookie.
He's never getting one because I want him as mad as possible every single week.
It might make him madder. We don't know. You sent him something. He might be like, even just like, you're not going to send me nothing. It might be that kind of guy. He seems that kind of way, which is great. All right. So let's talk about how folks could get into the flock, because we're about to take this to From the Flock, where we look at the ins and the outs that happen in our Discord from our lovely flockers. But how could people get involved, and why should they?
They should, because they should enjoy supporting this show, because you know what, Clinton, you're putting in the work each and every week to bring this out. There's value there. If you find value in what Clinton provides in this 3 in, 3 out show, you can show your support at getintheflock.com. And on top of that, you get a channel in our Discord. You get to say your ins. You get to say your outs. Yeah, maybe you wanted to talk about some of the outs. And even in a day where we do a show with 6 ins, we're going to get to them now through your feedback.
There we go. There it is. It's that there we are at the From the Flock section, which Brandon just said comes from our Discord. So Brandon, let's go. I'll take the first one since you did the introduction. Thank you very much. And so we are From the Flock and at the getintheflock.com. We'll start over here with Scott AZ12 in Darnold snagging the bad snap on the Halani touchdown. It's kind of cool. He does a little almost no looky type thing. It's pretty sweet. Car saying in up 3 touchdowns in just the first quarter. Is this even allowed? Yes, Car. It's very allowed. It's encouraged, actually. We got Bunny saying in Hawks making a case for the NFL to add a mercy rule. Stop it. He's already dead. Paul King saying in Abe's block to give Halani the space to get outside. Paul, you and I saw the same thing there, bud, like that. In starting fast makes such a huge difference to last year. Yeah, man. Paul, you could win the game in the first quarter. We're doing it. All right, Brandon, over to you.
All right, over to Car on the other side saying in Lawrence with 2 touchdowns in one game. What?
Not bad.
Yeah, defensive players, that is unusual. In fact, it was just the 4th time in the entire history of the NFL that players had 2 touchdowns, fumble recoveries for a touchdown. Paul King, I think that was an action replay, saying again, Lawrence with essentially the exact same play, picking up the fumble that was caused by Tyrese Knight, and it did. It looked very similar. In fact, Mad Matt 3001 says out, lack of creativity on defensive touchdown plays.
Yes, the comedy for the win. Great job there. Funny stuff. And look, it's the repeat was a lovely thing. Unexpected, but lovely to see basically the same play twice. We got C. Barker Dad, who is Phil. So Phil says out, Olu equals only out. And, I think this happened probably after the fumble. We'd have to check with Mr. Phil. But I think Olu played pretty well as the rest of the game went on, when we had to run the ball, or we were only going to run the ball. We still ran the ball really well behind Olu. So I did like that. Bunny, if we have to have 3 outs, Olu, and Olu. Okay. So again, people getting on Olu early. I think that fumbled snap pissed some people off. And again, for me, Brandon, how do you see it? I don't even put that on Olu. Looks like he snapped it just fine. He did have that delay of game too, or that pre-snap penalty, whatever it was, where he was offsides, right, on a play as well. But a little grace, I think, is due for a guy that's coming off the bench.
Well, the pre-snap penalty, I think that was on one of the 1-yard AJ Barner plays. And so I don't know if he was rocking. It was interesting, and I think this comes up in the Discord too, because someone commented about how far back AJ Barner was on the second attempt. And I wondered too if maybe the Barner was up just a little bit too close and maybe even pushed Olu on that first one that got him moving forward, that gave him the snap infraction. So I couldn't quite tell when I went back and watched it, but I wonder if that explained why he was so far back away from Olu the second time when they ran the tush push. But yeah, it looked a lot different the second time than it did the first attempt. So not sure what was going on there. The fumble, you don't want to see it. I don't know if I would say I don't. I mean, your job as the center is to come in and snap it properly. So,
but who says he didn't?
I don't know.
It looks like it hits Darnold in the hands. So I think it's just a bit of, hey, they're not playing together in these situations as much as they need to. And he snapped. He's not like he snaps it over his head. It wasn't what was the guy?
Right.
Was it Williams? What was his name? The center that lasted half a year.
Connor Williams.
Connor Williams. Yeah. So it wasn't like he was in shotgun. He just snaps it. So anyway, I'm just gonna give him a little bit of grace. I don't think it was all that bad. Then I think there was actually quite a bit of good when it came to run blocking. And they get back to it. We got Josh DeHuman saying in Brady Russell recovering that fumble on the kick return. Yeah, Shaheed put one on the ground after having a pretty nice game. But Johnny on the spot was Brady Russell, which was cool. You want to take with the forks?
I'm going to take Marlin with a
Nice.
live in. Barner trying to draw the defense offsides, then just getting it done on 4th and 1.
Yeah, hard count.
And then you got Witherfork with an in. Dixon not needing to use his leg today. In that first 20 minutes, we were just unstoppable, and out injuries. It's football, but damn, they suck. And yeah, injuries, I think we're talking about to the center, Sundell. And yeah, we'll see how long he's potentially going to be out. I saw that the coach, on the coach's show, he didn't give a timeline, but maybe in the press conference, he gave something there. I could see him maybe not wanting to. Gosh, leading up in a week against the Rams, probably don't want to say a whole lot.
Well, I think he did say multiple weeks.
Oh, multiple weeks. Okay.
But like not maybe IR, not season ending. So that was kind of the vibe. So maybe 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah. All right. So we've got Dane X, the defense with 5 sacks, 6 TFLs, 8 quarterback hits, 2 fumbles recovered, 2 touchdowns in 1 half.
That's not bad. Crazy.
And Josh DeHuman with the in and showing the Seahawks with 3 out of the 4 most points scored in the first half this season in the NFL. The Vikings, the only other team it looked like that had more than 30 points.
Yes, we're going to keep on rocking. We got Frost, who is, of course, Ryan911, a.k.a. Coach in the Discord, saying, in another opening drive TD. In, we also scored a touchdown on the Cards' opening drive. In, we scored a touchdown on our second drive. So a lot of ins there. And we got Chosen. Chosen, remember, was the person who called for 2 strip sacks out on YouTube. Says, in, Ty Okada, playing like the white Bam Bam Cam. Holy catfish. He says, Knight having a day, and D-Law being there at the perfect time for those fumbles. And he's posting, of course, the LeBron James with Dwayne Wade posterized alley-oop from back in the day. I think those are the right players. I know LeBron's one of them. I think it's D Wade.
Probably Wade.
I think it's Wade. Spring Mix saying, in establishing the running game with Charbs in the third. Absolutely. Out. Long snap on the barnyard. Unnecessary potential point of failure. I don't remember that.
I think that's what I was talking about. I think the second
like the
time
hard
that they
count?
lined up, I don't know if it was did they run that play 3 times? Because I thought on the one, it just looked like he was a little bit farther back off of Olu than the first time they ran it. And so I think that's what Spring Mix is getting to here. But yeah.
All right. I just somehow forgot that for some reason. Don't worry. Okay, Car out. Too many damn injuries. We are not the Niners, and she's right. We're not the Niners. The nice part was I think we all had some bated breath moments when Imani Wari looked like he really hurt his hand, like it might be a wrist thing, and then it's like, oh no, and then 2 plays later he's back in. So I was like, okay, cool. And then Chosen in 190 yards rushing with 5 minutes left in the game. Love to see it. Out to the turnovers, boneheaded mistakes. They were. I just prefer not throwing the ball from the half-yard line. I will say this. On the ball that Darnold's throwing that hits Barner in the helmet, JSN's wide open.
Oh, sure.
And the ball's going to JSN over the middle for a first down. So, we'll see.
Well, I think that, it's everybody has to do their job. And
exactly.
Barner in that play wasn't doing his job. It got his helmet in the way. So it's, and then the other play where, gosh, I think it was Arroyo who was open, but Sam held on to the football a little bit too long, and Abe Lucas was getting beat on his block, and the defender able to come in and swipe the ball out of Sam's hands. So turnovers, not fun, and that's what Nate Schutz gives the out for. Low-hanging fruit, but turnovers, are we getting lackadaisical when we're up? But giving the in to Sam, holding the ball to pull in the defenders before hitting Coop for the long play. Nice long play down the sideline to Cooper Kupp. Only 2 catches, but 2 first downs and 1 big long play there by Kupp.
Well, if it could be one thing, be efficient, right? So 67 yards on that one play, 2 for 74.
Yeah. Not a lot of passes to go around on a day like that.
There were
too,
12, right. And by the way, his other catch was on the opening drive, a tough little third down slant, sure hands, first down.
Hawk Van Dyke with the in. Yep, I'm saying it because I finally saw it with my eyes. Zabel made some great blocks, including the one that sprung Charbonnet on his 30-yard run. Josh DeHuman with the in. Retweeting Brady Henderson. Per ESPN research, this is the first time the Seahawks have won consecutive games by 20-plus points since Week 13 and 14 of the 2015 season.
Very nice. Rising Hawker saying what we just said. Kupp making the most of his 2 receptions in this game, which, yeah, man, that is a very nicely, it is an astute, observation there, my man. So good stuff. I'll keep on rocking. We have, there we go. All right. So what does that say? Kev in, what is it again? Great Glenn?
Kevin Great Glenn, yep.
There we go. He says, in. Pritchett's diving touchdown save, never giving up, and the presence of mind, beautiful. Absolutely right. It was the Brandon for a reason. Great call. Design Pete's Beach House, which is, of course, Amy. Hello, Amy. In. Tariq Woolen dialed in. And again, I make my selections. I don't go back and look at this because I don't want to borrow if I don't have to. And it's cool to see a lot of these that showed up today, too. So Reek getting called out. Then we got Thad is Radical saying, Olu instantly improves the run game. So positive for Olu. I like that. This one's great. Hall, uncredited, and Mafe combined for the first sack of the season. I don't know how you watch that play and don't give Hall at least a half a sack.
PFF gave them both half sacks. So
okay. Well, I don't think the NFL did. So.
No, and that they may revise that. And,
I hope they
go
do.
back and fix the box score after.
I hope they do, because both those guys being skunked when they're working so friggin' hard, it irritates me. But you know what? Against the Rams, let's just get like 3 apiece versus Stafford there. And we got crowd was quite loud again. Out, chaos ball, rears its head once again. Interception off the helmet, multiple fumbles. That's kind of it. What a game. And yeah, we covered the outs for sure, but I really do like some of those ins, and they're bringing a different point of view. So good job by Thad.
Yeah, good job by Thad. Always appreciate when we see our Seahawkers podcast stuff on field goals. That's generally Thad that is putting those things together for field goals.
Great.
What do you call the compilation of all the things?
Yeah, the links.
Yeah,
the links.
All the links.
Good job.
That's
Thanks, Thad. Good.
All right, we've got Leo, 28 points in less than 16 minutes. 67-yard catch and run by Kupp. The Adams in and out, 3 turnovers, but who cares? Witherfork with the night graphic. No trap game, just the night game with the KN with Tyrese Knight getting the 2 forced fumbles.
Good stuff. This is our last from the flock, and we'll wrap. We got JSN Jiggy with it. In running game, go good. I like that. In our ready squad is showing up. Depth is real. Remember, Mike McDonald calls the practice squad his ready squad. And hey, it works for them, right? In Shaheed being our 4th running back, we covered that last night. Nice little student body left on the sweep and a little end around for 20 yards on 2 carries. Good average. She says no outs from me. They kicked Tiny Beak ass. Me and Lisa were kind of on the same wave here, man. I was a no outs kind of mood today. I'll take Chosen. You take Hawk Van Dyke to end it. Chosen in the picture speaks for itself. And the picture, if you're listening, shows the Seattle Seahawks on top of the National Football Conference. Of course, that's the NFC, sitting at 7-2. We're live right now. Monday Night Football is happening where the Eagles and Packers are battling. So we'll wrap in just a few minutes so we can go watch that great game that is important to our Seahawks. But we got our closer. Brandon, take it away.
Yes, Hawk Van Dyke with the in. Very low panic level. The foot was clearly taken off the gas. Best to save it for the Lambs. And an in. Weiner's currently out of the playoffs. Man, so I guess we do have the Lambs to thank for that.
Yeah, I know there was a lot of people kind of like, oh, I think we should cheer for the 49ers to win. I wasn't on that bandwagon yesterday. I was firmly in we still got to play the Rams twice. The 49ers already beat us. The 49ers had already beaten the Rams. I'm like, no, let the 49ers lose and let them kind of peter out now, hopefully, right? They have a pretty easy schedule, so they may stick around. But if the teams like the Bears keep pulling off miracle victories, maybe the Niners don't make the playoffs. That'll make me happy for sure. So good job by Hawk Van Dyke. And I'm with Bloomy on this one. Just it was clear that, we just, you go up by 31, you're going to start mentally be like, okay, I don't need to go 1,000 miles an hour the entire game. It's just the way it goes. And we kind of get a little bit of a mini bye in this way too, because we get to go play the Rams just next week. So that takes us through from the flock. I hope folks had a blast out there. Brandon, I think it's time to go watch some Eagles Packers. And who are you cheering for?
Oh gosh, I don't care.
I think it's better for our deal if the Packers win. I think.
Is it? Okay.
I think so. I mean, if they do, how about this? If they do,
or we're already looking forward to home field advantage through the playoffs and that number 1 seed.
Why not?
I mean, then what does it matter? We're just going to keep on winning anyway, and that the Rams can kick rocks, and we beat them on Sunday. We have another 20-point plus blowout, and we never look back.
I like all those things. All right, we have a flagship or two coming up this week. We're going to have a what if. We got to figure that out. Mr. Phil's going to be traveling this week, so we're going to figure out a what if for the preview show. We're going to keep it rocking. There's a lot to talk about as we take on our number one rivals in a few short days already, or maybe several days, depending on how you measure it. This is going to be a fun week. Like we talked about last night, Brandon, the entirety of the NFL is going to be focused on that 4:00 Eastern game. And it's been a long while since the NFL sitting there watching our team going like, hey, this is a legit Super Bowl team. Now, can we bring it on Sunday? And, just if there are doubters left, just put them to bed as well. What do you think, dude?
I think I want to see it, and I will consider myself a doubter up until we hang another, 20-point plus victory on the Rams.
All right, let's get that W. And I think with that,
there's only one thing left to say.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.